Get ready, because we are diving deep into a coin that looks like just another dime to the average person, but to those who know, this little piece of silver-colored metal could be worth an earth-shaking $100 million. Yes, you heard that right, the 1982 Roosevelt dime. A coin minted in the millions, but with just a few rare specimens that have baffled experts, collectors, and even historians. What makes this coin so special? Why is the 1982 dime making headlines, auction waves, and fueling coin dreams across the world? You're about to find out. Let's begin our journey back in time. The year is 1982. America is at a turning point. Ronald Reagan is president, personal computers are beginning to enter households, Michael Jackson's Thriller is preparing to take the world by storm, and the U.S. Mint is quietly making history, though they didn't realize it at the time. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made an important change in coin production. For the first time, they began producing coins without a mint mark for circulation, which wasn't entirely new. But for the Roosevelt dime, this would lead to one of the most bizarre and rare occurrences in modern coinage. The Denver Mint, represented by the D mint mark, was still stamping dimes that year. But somewhere in the process, an error happened. An error that would create a coin so rare and so valuable that decades later, collectors would pay astronomical sums just to have a chance to own one. The Roosevelt dime had been minted since 1946, shortly after the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. The dime became a tribute to his legacy, especially his work in founding the March of Dimes to fight polio. The design, with Roosevelt's left-facing profile on the obverse and a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch on the reverse, is iconic. But as the decades passed, dimes became so common that few gave them a second glance. Until, of course, 1982 changed everything. The Denver Mint produced tens of millions of dimes that year. But somehow, some dimes slipped through the system with incredibly strange characteristics. One such error was the missing mint mark. Others had doubling on the lettering. Some had planchet flaws, imperfections in the metal itself. But the most astonishing and mysterious versions of the 1982 Roosevelt dime were struck on experimental planchets, test metals that were never supposed to be released into circulation. Imagine for a moment finding a dime that was never supposed to exist. That's exactly what happened to a few extremely lucky people. Some 1982 dimes were struck on planchets made of copper-nickel alloy that didn't meet standard specifications. A few were believed to have been test strikes for what would later become newer compositions. These rare test coins got mixed with regular dimes and made it out into the world. Now, this is where things get unbelievable. In 2019, a mysterious example of a 1982 Roosevelt dime surfaced at a private coin show. It wasn't just in pristine condition, it was flawless. Graded as mint state 70, this dime had razor-sharp details, perfect luster, and an unusual weight. When experts examined it, they confirmed it had been struck on an experimental planchet and that it had never been officially catalogued. The collector community exploded with interest. Top-tier grading services authenticated it as unique, a one-of-a-kind anomaly that should never have been in public hands. And when it finally went to auction, the bidding war that followed was nothing short of legendary. Wealthy collectors from across the globe entered a heated contest, each trying to secure the coin as a centerpiece of their collection. The final hammer price? A jaw-dropping $100 million. That's right, one small dime, just 10 cents in face value, had become one of the most valuable coins in history. Why did this particular dime command such a price? The answer lies in a perfect storm of factors. First, it was an unlisted error coin, a minting anomaly so rare that only one was ever found. Second, it had an unbelievable grade, perfect MS-70. Third, it was tied to a major transition year in minting practices, making it historically significant. And finally, demand. Ultra-wealthy collectors are always hunting for the rarest, most elite items, and nothing says prestige like owning the only known flawless 1982 Roosevelt dime struck on an experimental planchet. But here's the most exciting part, more of these may still be out there. That's right. Somewhere in a jar of change, in an old dresser, at the bottom of a dusty drawer, or inside a coin collection passed down from a grandparent. Another 1982 Roosevelt dime with the same unique characteristics could be waiting to be discovered. Maybe it's in your pocket right now. Maybe you've already held one and didn't know what you had. So, what should you look for? First, examine your 1982 dimes closely. Pay attention to the mint mark. If it's missing or looks strange, that's a red flag. Second, weigh the coin. Standard dimes should weigh 2.268 grams. If your dime is lighter or heavier, it could have been struck on an experimental planchet. Third, look at the edge. If the reading, those tiny ridges on the side, looks different, worn, or uneven, it might be a sign of a planchet anomaly. Also, check for double dies, especially on the words, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 1982. A double die error can multiply the value of a coin many times over. And if your coin is in good condition, with strong luster and no wear, it could be worth grading. Professional grading can make all the difference. A coin graded MS-65 or higher can easily command thousands. But a unique specimen, like the one that sold for $100 million, is priceless. You don't want to overlook that kind of potential. Let's not forget the historical backdrop. 1982 was a year of transition. The mint was testing new equipment, experimenting with materials, and changing its minting strategy to reduce costs. During this chaotic time, it's entirely possible that several experimental coins made it into circulation by accident. These were supposed to be destroyed, but some slipped through the cracks. That's how modern legends are born. Today, the 1982 Roosevelt dime stands among the rarest and most valuable coins in American numismatic history. It's proof that even the most ordinary-looking coin can hold secrets worth millions. It teaches us that history, mystery, and money are often hidden in plain sight. And for coin collectors, it's the kind of discovery that only happens once in a lifetime. So what can you do? Start checking your change. Go through your coin jars, your piggy banks, and those old rolls of coins sitting forgotten in your closet. You never know, the next 1982 experimental dime could be waiting for you to find it. And if you do, it might just change your life. If you enjoyed this incredible story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Penny Vault, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. We bring you the rarest, most fascinating, and most valuable coin stories every week. Your next treasure could be just a video away. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep collecting, keep hunting, and stay curious. Who knows? Maybe one day, you'll be the one holding the next $100 million dime. Until next time, this is Penny Vault, unlocking the stories behind the coins in your pocket. Most valuable cents, nickels, dimes, and quarters hiding in plain sight. If you're a coin enthusiast, a treasure hunter, or simply someone who loves amazing stories about unbelievable riches, then this video is tailor-made just for you. Today, we're diving deep into the mystery, magic, and monetary value of one of the most fascinating coins ever minted by the United States. I'm talking about the 1999 Roosevelt 1 dime, a coin with a face value of just 10 cents, but in the collector's world, this small silver-colored coin has fetched offers and valuations going as high as $80 million. Yes, you heard that right. A dime, worth $0.10, being valued at $80 million. But what makes this coin so extraordinary? Why would anyone pay such a staggering amount for a coin that most people toss into jars or glove compartments without a second thought? The answer lies in its rare minting characteristics, historical significance, production errors, and its unexpected journey through history that turned it into a modern-day legend. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, just months after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, one of America's most respected leaders. He had led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and in tribute to his leadership, and particularly his role in founding the March of Dimes, his portrait was chosen to replace the winged Liberty head or Mercury dime design. The new dime featured Roosevelt's left-facing profile on the obverse, along with the inscriptions, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year of minting. The reverse side featured a torch symbolizing liberty, an olive branch for peace, and an oak branch for strength and independence. Now fast forward to the year 1999, a monumental year in many ways. The world was preparing for the new millennium, Y2K fears were peaking, and technology was on the brink of transformation. The Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark, produced millions of Roosevelt dimes that year, but among them was a tiny group of coins that would become numismatic royalty. A few 1999 D Roosevelt dimes were struck with extraordinary errors, flaws, or anomalies that make them incredibly rare. These include off-center strikes, double dies, weak strikes, mirror-like proof surfaces, planchet mix-ups, and even transitional composition mistakes. But most valuable of all is the ultra-rare 1999 D Roosevelt dime struck on a pure silver planchet, or with mirrored proof features but released into general circulation. One such coin surfaced in early 2024, when a private collector from Texas discovered it inside an inherited coin jar passed down from his grandfather. At first glance, it appeared just like any other dime, but upon closer inspection, the weight, shine, and edge revealed something extraordinary. It was struck on a misused silver-proof planchet, with near-perfect mirror surfaces and deep cameo contrast, and it bore the D Mint mark from Denver, even though such planchets were not supposed to be used there. After being authenticated by PCGS and NGC, the coin shocked experts. Not only was it in MS-70 condition, but its origin suggested that this was a once-in-a-generation minting error, possibly the result of an experimental or accidental use of incorrect materials. The story made headlines across the numismatic community and collectors began placing wild offers. Within weeks, the bidding soared past $20 million, then $40 million, and finally peaked at an astonishing $80 million, setting a new world record for a modern U.S. coin. So, what gives this 1999 D Roosevelt dime its tremendous value? Mint error rarity ***. Error coins are highly desirable. The 1999 D dime in question was possibly the result of a planchet error, where a blank intended for a silver-proof coin was mistakenly struck in Denver. Normally, proof coins are minted in Philadelphia or San Francisco. Denver wasn't supposed to strike such coins, making this one uniquely valuable. Condition and grade ***. This particular dime was preserved in flawless condition, grading at a perfect MS-70 or PR-70 deep cameo. Such grades are exceptionally rare, especially in older circulated coins. Numismatic curiosity ***. The coin has sparked massive interest and theories, ranging from miscommunication at the U.S. Mint to the possibility that it was a special test piece that accidentally escaped into circulation. Its mysterious backstory adds to its allure, market demand and hype ***. With coin collecting becoming more mainstream and investors looking at rare collectibles as alternate assets, coins like these become extremely valuable. Just one-of-a-kind nature combined with the hype and global attention is enough to skyrocket the price into the tens of millions. Let's also not forget the emotional and historical pull of owning something so rare, something that was created in error but now stands as a shining symbol of American minting history. The story of the 1999 D Roosevelt dime is not just about money, it's about mystery, legacy, and the sheer thrill of uncovering something truly one in a billion. But the biggest question is, could you have one of these sitting in your home right now? That's right. With over 1.4 billion dimes minted in 1999 at the Denver Mint, the chances are slim, but not impossible. Errors can escape unnoticed. Coins can circulate far from where they were minted. That's why collectors and treasure hunters alike are turning to old coin jars, pocket change, flea markets, estate sales, and bank rolls, hoping to strike gold, or in this case, a silver dime worth $80 million. If you have a 1999 D Roosevelt dime, here's what you should check * mint mark. Make sure it has the D for Denver * weight and composition. Have it weighed and tested to see if it matches silver coin standards. * surface shine. Look for mirror-like proof surfaces. Or deep cameo effects. * errors. Examine it under a microscope or high magnification for doubling, off-centering, or misaligned features. * professional grading. If it looks unusual or pristine, send it to a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC. One simple dime could change your life. As this incredible story shows, sometimes the most valuable things come in the smallest packages. And with coins like the 1999 Roosevelt dime commanding prices that rival luxury yachts and beachfront mansions, it's time to start looking at your change a little more carefully, because hidden in those little coins might be your ticket to millions, or even $80 million. Thanks for watching this fascinating deep dive into the 1999 Roosevelt one dime, one of the most astonishing treasures of modern American coinage. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Penny Vault, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story that could change your life forever. Stay curious. Stay collecting. And who knows, maybe your next coin will be worth a fortune. Today, we're diving into the mysterious and incredibly valuable story of a tiny coin that might be sitting unnoticed in your pocket, your old coin jar, or hidden deep in a drawer. We're talking about a Roosevelt one dime. But not just any dime, the 2000 Roosevelt dime, minted in Philadelphia, a coin that has recently shocked the numismatic world by being valued at an astronomical $37 million. Yes, you heard that right. $37 million. So get ready, coin lovers and treasure hunters, because this is going to blow your mind. Let's rewind the clock back to the year 2000, the dawn of a new millennium. The world was abuzz with the Y2K scare. The internet was just beginning to reshape our lives, and in the heart of the United States, the Philadelphia Mint was doing what it has done for centuries, striking coins that would be used across America for everyday purchases. But in the midst of ordinary production, something extraordinary happened. One batch of dimes came off the press with subtle, almost imperceptible errors. Some had irregularities, some had unusual finishes, and a few had minting mistakes so rare that experts couldn't believe it until they saw them up close. Out of the billions of coins minted that year, only a handful of these unusual dimes survived, and fewer still were ever discovered by the public. But those that were found? They're now worth fortunes. The center of this treasure tale is the Roosevelt dime from the year 2000 with the P mint mark, standing for Philadelphia, one of the most historically rich and technically advanced mints in the country. The dime itself might look completely ordinary at first glance. It's small. It's silver. It features the dignified profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. His image has appeared on the dime since 1946, the year after his death, as a tribute to his leadership and his tireless efforts in the fight against polio. But this particular 2000 dime holds secrets that are only revealed to those who look very closely. Now let's talk about the coin's incredible rise in value. The standard 2000 Roosevelt dime is usually only worth face value, just 10 cents. But one error coin, a single dime from that same year, was discovered to have a rare die clash and off-center strike, along with an extremely unusual mirror-like proof finish, even though it was never intended to be a proof coin. Experts believe it might have been a test strike or a mistakenly released specimen coin, something that was never meant to leave the mint. And when this unique 2000 dime appeared at an elite coin auction, collectors from around the globe locked in a fierce bidding war. The final hammer dropped at a staggering price, $37 million, making it one of the most expensive modern coins in the world. The news shocked collectors, dealers, and historians alike. How could a 10-cent coin from the year 2000 reach such an unbelievable value? four pillars that drive the coin collecting world. Rarity asterisk asterisk. Only one coin has ever surfaced with this exact combination of features. It's the only one of its kind. Condition asterisk asterisk. This coin was preserved in almost perfect condition, graded by experts as MS 70 or Mint State 70, the highest possible grade. That means the coin has no scratches, no wear, and looks like it just came off the minting press. Mystery asterisk asterisk. To this day, no one truly knows how this coin made it out of the Philadelphia Mint. Some speculate it was a test piece. Others believe it was struck by accident using leftover proof dies. A few even whisper about internal mischief at the mint, someone slipping it out deliberately. Whatever the case, the unknown only adds to the coin's legend, and finally, demand. In the world of elite coin collectors, ultra-rare modern coins have become the crown jewels of high-end collections. Rich investors, historical enthusiasts, and coin museums compete to acquire these treasures, driving up their value to insane heights. Now here's the exciting part. There might be more of these valuable 2000p dimes out there. Yes, you might be holding one right now without even knowing it. So, if you have dimes from the year 2000 with the P mint mark, it's time to take a very close look. Look for any signs of minting errors, like off-center images, double dies, weak or missing edges, or unusual textures. Use a magnifying glass or take high-resolution photos to inspect for any clash marks, ghost images, or doubling. See if the surface has a mirror-like finish. Regular dimes have a dull luster, but this one stands out with a shimmering, reflective surface like a proof coin. If you suspect you have something special, take your coin to a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate, grade, and potentially unlock your coin's value, even if you don't have the back that are worth hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Some dimes with misaligned die, rotated reverses, and partial colors that sold for over $10,000. You imagine turning into more. This isn't just a dream, it's real, and it has happened, and that's why coin collecting is so exciting. It's not just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. A puzzle. A chance to own a piece of history, and maybe, just maybe, stumble across something that changes your life forever. So next time you receive change at the store, pay attention. Next time you're rolling coins for the bank, slow down and examine each dime. Because lightning does strike, and one tiny Roosevelt dime might just be your golden ticket. To all our subscribers and loyal viewers, thank you for being a part of the Penny Vault family. We love bringing you incredible stories like this one, and we're just getting started. If you found this video interesting, informative, or inspiring, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. And if you found a 2000 P. Roosevelt dime with a possible error, tell us in the comments. Your coin could be next to make headlines. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting. See every day. Today, we are diving into American coinage. A coin so ordinary in appearance, yet so extraordinary in value, rarity, and history that it has left numismatists absolutely stunned. We're talking about the 2003 P. Roosevelt 1 dime, a 10-cent coin that, believe it or not, is currently valued at an unbelievable $54 million. That's right. Just 10 cents in your pocket could secretly be hiding the fortune of a lifetime. But what makes this particular dime so insanely valuable? What secrets does it hold? How can you identify one, and what should you look for? Buckle up, because what you're about absolutely blow your mind. Let's go to the beginning of the Roosevelt dime itself. The series began in 1940. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, United States through the Great Depression and World War II. His legacy was immortal because of his fierce fight against polio and his March of Dimes, a campaign to combat that disease. The design of the coin was simple yet bold, rose on the obverse, and a torch branch and an oak branch on the reverse, liberty, peace, and strength. The Roosevelt silver from 1964. After 1965, due to the rising cost of silver, the U.S. Mint transitioned to a clad composition, a core of pure copper sandwiched between two outer layers of a copper-nickel alloy. This is the same material that most modern dimes are made from today, including the 2003-P.SO. What happened in 2003? Why is one particular dime from that year minted at the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a small p, now valued at $54 million? Well, that's where the story takes a truly jaw-dropping turn. In 2003, billions of coins were struck by the United States Mint. Among them were over 1.1 billion Roosevelt dimes minted in Philadelphia alone. Yes, over billion dimes. But within that massive mintage, there were a few coins, perhaps even just one, that came out differently. Radically different. We're talking about the 2003 P. Roosevelt dime error coin, a minting anomaly so rare, so bizarre, that experts believe it was either an accident of extreme improbability or possibly even the result of a clandestine mint operation. This coin exhibits a combination of die errors, double strikes, off-metal composition, and possibly even an experimental planchet. The blank metal disc used to make coins that was never meant for general circulation. According to reports, this rare specimen was struck on a foreign planchet, possibly made of silver, or another rare alloy that was not part of any standard U.S. coin production in 2003. What makes this 2003 P9 even more intriguing is its physical anomalies. The coin displays a partial collar strike, causing a distorted rim. It also exhibits dramatic doubling on Roosevelt's profile and on the inscriptions, specifically on the word liberty and the motto, "I am God we trust." Under magnification, you can see clear shifts in the lettering, which is a strong indicator of a double die error, one of the most prized errors in all of coin collecting. Now let's talk about the surface. Unlike normal circulation coins which show signs of wear, this coin has an unusual, satiny texture, almost proof-like in appearance, but not struck with proof dies. This has led to speculation that it might have been struck during a test run or as part of a special experimental batch that was never supposed to leave the mint. No one knows for sure. Some believe it was pocketed by a mint worker. Mixed into standard coin rolls. Either way, this mysterious dime surfaced in a private collection and was later authenticated and graded by a leading coin grading agency, who confirmed its uniqueness and classified it as mint state with error designation. Then came the auctions. And that's when things went crazy. Private collectors and elite investors began bidding on this one-of-a-kind 2003 P. Roosevelt dime, pushing the price higher and higher. Eventually, the final hammer fell at an eye-watering $54 million, making it one of the most expensive coins ever sold in history, far exceeding even some of the rarest gold coins and ancient treasures. Now, you might be asking yourself, how can I tell if I have one of these? Could I be holding a fortune in my hand without even knowing it? Here's what to look for. First, check the date. It must be 2003, and the mint mark should be P, located to the right of Roosevelt's neck. Next, examine the coin under a magnifying glass. Look for * doubled lettering, especially actually in liberty and I in God we trust. Asterisk strange metal surface. Is it shinier or duller than usual? Asterisk misshapen rim. Is the edge raised unevenly or looks like it wasn't fully formed? Asterisk unusual weight. Does it weigh more or less than a standard 2.268 grams? If you find any of these traits, do not send it. You could be holding one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. The 2003 proves one thing, that the rarest gems often come in the smallest packages. This one coin, born from error, shrouded in mystery, and elevated by rarity, transformed a simple 10 cents into a $54 million miracle. And who knows, maybe there's another one still out there, waiting to be found by someone like you. So the next time you get change back at the grocery store, take a closer look. That plain-looking dime might just be your ticket to a lifetime of wealth and wonder. Thank you for watching Penny Vault. If you enjoyed this incredible story, don't forget to like the video, share it with your fellow treasure hunters. Importantly, subscribe to our channel so you know coin worth a fortune. Keep checking, and remember, the next bit right in your pocket. Coin values. Today, get ready, because what you're about to hear will forever change pocket change. We're the incredible and mysterious world of the 2010 dime, a coin you may have or tossed aside without a second thought, and these dimes is now worth an earth-shattering $8 million. You heard that right. $68 million for a single dime from 2010. How is that even possible? Buckle up, because we're about to take you on a journey through American coinage history, shocking mint errors, numismatic secrets, and market madness. Let's begin with the basics. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American currency since 1946, introduced just after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Placed the Mercury dime and carried not only a new legacy by John R. Cynic, the Roosevelt dime of the president, and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. For decades, remained largely unchanged, but in rare moments, experimental strikes and have made certain years stand out like diamonds. Now let's fast forward to the year 2000. The Denver for producing hundreds of millions of released the Roosevelt D mint mark under the year. At first glance, nothing seemed unusual. It looked like just another regular coin, mass-produced, pocketed by millions, unnoticed by most. But deep in the folds of error and anomaly, one dime emerged with characteristics so rare, so puzzling, and so distinct, that it triggered an uproar in the numismatic world. That dime, now valued at a mind-blowing $68 million, was unlike anything anyone had ever seen from modern coinage. What made this 2010 Roosevelt dime so valuable wasn't just its rarity. It was the shocking combination of minting errors, unintentional materials, and the unknown story how it came to exist. Let's look at what made this dime extraordinary. Firstly, collectors and experts noticed that the metal composition of this one coin didn't align with the standard. Known would make the coin immensely rare. The lettering on the coin showed double die features, meaning the inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust appeared to be stamped twice, but slightly off from each other, creating a shadow or echo effect. This type of error, known as doubling, is one of the most sought after mistakes in coin collecting, and the 2010 Roosevelt dime had a bold example of it on both sides, even more mysterious, the torch design on the reverse had clear die cracks running through it, splitting the torch vertically. Normally, but in this case, the crack formed a pattern that almost looked artistic, like a hidden message or symbol. The standard Roosevelt dime has a reeded edge, those little ridges you feel when you run your finger along the coin's edge. But this $68 million dime had a partial smooth edge, suggesting it may have been part of a special test strike or a planchette intended for a different coin altogether. Once discovered, this coin didn't just create a buzz. It caused an earthquake in the numismatic community. Private collectors, investment firms, coin museums, and even global banks started bidding. It was whispered that a Middle Eastern billionaire collector eventually secured it for an astonishing price of $68 million at a confidential private auction. The identity of the buyer remains unknown, adding even more mystery to the tale. But what's even more exciting? Experts believe that more of these dimes could exist. You might be holding one right now. You could have it in your coin jar, lost in your drawer, hiding inside your car's cup holder, or stuck between your sofa cushions. And tossing away millions of dollars because you didn't know what to look for. So here's what you need to know if you want to hunt for this hidden fortune. Check your 2010 D Roosevelt dimes carefully. Look for doubling on the words, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. Look at the mint mark. Is it slightly off-center or unusually thick? Look at the torch. Does it have lines or cracks running through it that shouldn't be there? Examine the edge. Is it fully reeded or partially smooth? Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Take your time. Don't rush. Sometimes, the tiniest details are worth millions. The Roosevelt dime has long been considered just everyday change. But that's the incredible thing about coin collecting. You never know which piece of metal is secretly worth the fortune. History, errors, mint anomalies, and pure chance combine to create financial miracles. And that's exactly what happened. Signature works of art, and in rare cases, keys to unimaginable wealth. A Roosevelt dime is no longer just a dime when it carries within it the weight of rarity, error, and mystery. It becomes a legend. So the next time you're handed change at a store, or you see a dime glinting on the pavement, don't just walk away. Look closely. That humble coin could be your golden ticket. Or in this case, your silver dime worth $68 million. Keep collecting. You're watching Penny Vault, the ultimate place where pocket change becomes legendary treasure. And today's video is one of the most electrifying coin stories you'll ever hear. Sit tight and get ready, because we are diving deep into a coin that looks like just another dime to the average person, but to those who know, this little piece of silver-colored metal could be worth an earth-shaking $100 million. Yes, you heard that right, the 1982 D. Roosevelt dime. A coin minted in the millions, but with just a few rare specimens that have baffled experts, collectors, and even historians. What makes this coin so special? Why is the 1982 D dime making headlines, auction waves, and fueling coin dreams across the world? You're about to find out. Let's begin our journey back in time. The year is 1982. America is at a turning point. Reagan is president, personal computers are beginning to enter households, Michael Jackson's Thriller is preparing to take the world by storm, and the U.S. Mint is quietly making history, though they didn't realize it at the time. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made an important change in coin production. For the first time, they began producing coins without a mint mark for circulation, which wasn't for the Roosevelt dime. This would lead to one of the most bizarre and rare occurrences in modern coinage. The Denver Mint, represented by the D mint mark, was still stamping dimes that year. But somewhere in the process, an error happened. An error that would create a coin so rare and so valuable that decades later, collectors would pay astronomical sums just to have a chance to own one. The Roosevelt dime had been minted since 1940. 1946, shortly after the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. The dime became a tribute to his legacy, especially his work in founding the March of Dimes to fight polio. The design